This is Van Electric Ghost, and we're talking up Anomie, A Lost Too Deep for Words. And this song we wrote last night, and we were playing around with our modular synths, creating some strange modulation, which is another track we're going to talk about. But when you go down the Eurorack rabbit hole, you can get caught up in all the things you can do with controlled voltage. And what's really, interesting about that is analog synths kind of have a life of their own. You can kind of get brought down all different types of crossroads and decide which way you're going to go. And we were initially working on a patch that sometimes we have a lot of stuff wired up on our Arturia 6U Eurorack solution, which has a Moog Mother 32 and a Moog DFAM, an Arturia Mini Brute 2S, Make Noise, Morphogene, the Make Noise Maths utility module, Pittsburgh Modular 2x4 mixer, and then a Make Noise routing solution that has a lot of CB, modular routing options. So we just pulled all the wires out and started from scratch. And we were playing with having the Arturia waveforms from its matrix go into the Moog, and then from the Moog have that signal then go into the mass utility module, and then have the make noise, have the drummer from Another Mother, which is an analog drum machine from Moog, also go into the mass utility module. So after all that, we had all these sounds going into our Arturia, and then out of the Arturia Mini Brute 2S on a 1/4-inch line into our Roland MX1 performance mixer, which then takes the monophonic signal and makes it stereo. Then that stereo signal goes into the Zoom R24, and it's all hardware rather than DAW recording. No digital audio used. Then we could actually then bring in a drum beat from our JDXI that we then chained the drums patterns from the Roland JDXI with an Arturia BeatStep Pro, and then bring that through the same kind of workflow. We go through the MX1, go into the Zoom. And then on top of that, we use our Roland to add some more pads type modulation. So it's using like an analog polysynth pad to create a chord arrangement. So there's a lot going on in this song. And then Josephine Electric is courtesy of a Roland vocoder with the VT4. We used to use the JDXI, we used to use the VT3. Now we're on the VT4 because the VT4 is a lot smaller than a JDXI or a VT3, but it has it's battery powered or USB powered, and it also has it's polyphonic, and it can do harmony, and it has a better pitch control on it and a lot of different profiles for the sound. So it makes Josephine's voice sound better than probably we've ever sounded since 2016. So this song is about the Josephine is remembering a partner who happened to be a female, and she's got these amazing symmetry. Her body is just amazing, and she just is just totally caught up in the fact that she lost this really beautiful woman that she was partners with. And then she's kind of also talking about something we've been alluding to, is like, how did Josephine become a ghost? And we're talking about this idea. She's driving in a fast car. She's talking about how she shouldn't argue when she's in third gear. She shouldn't argue with her lover in a fast machine. And somehow she can't negotiate her lover's curves or the curves on the road. And her car ends up in the rocks. And she ends up gone. but then she says she's still here. So that kind of tells you, and she talks about how she's in limbo and she's still on the earth. So somehow Josephine got into this wreck, kind of an argument with her lover, negotiating a curve, a dangerous curve, and her lover has dangerous curves. So we kind of collide the idea that her lover had these dangerous curves. She's driving a fast sports car on this mountain road that she crashes into the rocks, into the water, and she passes away but comes back as a ghost. So this kind of gives the full story of how Josephine came to be. And that's what the song is about. The other song that we gave a title to is something we always talk about, is our Eurorack process we call strange modulation, or another way of talking about expansive sound. So we actually created a song called Strange Modulation. And it still, was in the same space of everything that we do, doing hardware synthesis, and it has a lot of strange modulation, and that's probably the best I could talk about it. And then the other song we included again is Sticky Hot Dirty Mess. That we really like it because it's a teenage engineering song. In that, what do we mean? I mean, we're using an OPZ. We put it into a loop. We run it through the chain patterns on the OPZ, using the step components to run different variations, and then we brought that into our hardware workflow, and then we put some analog synths on top of it. And we were just playing with the VT4 again and running it through the MX1 performance mixer. So we get a lot of strange modulation, and it's a sticky, hot, dirty mess because Josephine, that's what she is. She's a total sex pot, total diva, total dominatrix. So the other thing that we've been looking at is we've been heavily reviewing the videos from Loop Pop and from Sonic State on the Hydra synth, which looks like an amazing wavetable synth that's got some CS80, the famous Yamaha CS80 elements in there. It has the ribbon control and polyphonic aftertouch. And we're kind of a performance-oriented artist, and at $1,300, this wavetable synth seems to have a really good workflow for doing complicated wavetable synthesis along with analog modeling and also FM synthesis. And it seems more interesting than even like Yamaha's series of synths in that it's got the knob per functions and the kind of setup that you want. It's got the note nod to the Korg, and it has an oscilloscope. It's got an interesting OLED LED controls, and the polyphonic aftertouch and the ribbon controller, the nods to this Yamaha CS80 give it a lot of capability as a performance instrument. We're also interested in the Jupiter XM as a replacement for our JDXI, in that it has a lot of the elements of the System 8, but then it includes the RD piano. And as a piano player, it's probably the cheapest way for us to get access to an RD piano. And we would probably use our Roland Juno GI as the main keyboard for it, or we would go get an Arturia keyboard solution to get a better keyboard, which is something we were looking at for a while, and be able to get a decent MIDI controller. We're even looking at Roland's MIDI controller, but we're interested in the capability of the piano. It's got the 5 parts, so it's a lot similar to a JDXI, because JDXI has multiple parts. We're not sure if it's limited in its capability on its when you sequence, because it doesn't have a sequencer. It has an arpeggiator, like the arpeggiator, but we think if we ran it through a BeatStep Pro, we could get a lot of cool sequencing out of it. But then again, the other thing from Roland that we think is even more interesting is the fact that the Phantom has an analog filter in it. It actually has a Jupiter filter and a bunch of other analog filters. Plus it has the new Zencore, where it includes the RD piano, a full chip of the RD piano, so it's an exact replication of an RD, or the V piano. which is an interesting type of piano sound that it's not exactly sampled, but it's got some interesting sounds. Some people either love it or they say it doesn't matter. As a piano player, I think I would really appreciate it. The fact that it's got this interesting workflow for building songs. It would be a really good central control system that we've been looking for, kind of a DAW-less system that we probably combine it with our Zoom to do a lot of our stuff. And it's got a lot of inputs in terms of CV and gate and like every type of interface that you could look at. And we think in terms of portability, it's not the solution that the Akai Force is, but as a keyboard player, it looks like a very interesting workstation. We think it's more interesting than the Korg workstation. So we are very excited about it. We think we would get into it big time. But then the other synth that's very enticing is the Moog Matriarch, which would give us our dream of having a really nice Moog keyboard. And if you look at what they've done, is like they get a keyboard at this quality was like the Voyager was or the Sub 37 was out there, but this has got more polyphony than a Sub 37. It's paraphonic, but you can play four-handed pieces, which you can't really do with a Sub 37. Is the only other mode that can do that type of chord structure is a Moog 1, which costs like $7,000 to $8,000. It's fully polyphonic, but a paraphonic sync can do like the round robin on the 4 oscillators. And again, the fact that it has 4 oscillators, which is pretty amazing. And the LFO could be a 5th. It's got a polyphonic sequencer. It's got analog delay. So it's a very exciting machine. It's a modular powerhouse. It could be the central control system for a lot of what you're trying to do. With the Eurorack system we already have, the interface that would give us a lot of capability. So it's kind of like a choice. Do you want to bring more analog subtractive synthesis into your workflow? Do you want to bring a modern wavetable synth into your workflow? Do you want to have the old school Jupiter 106 SH101 sounds? It's kind of if you got a budget, how would you spend your money? All of them you want to get, but which one would you get if you really had to? I mean, some days I would choose the Matriarch because analog is like the best. Some days I'd like the capability of the Phantom in terms of a songwriter. If I had to do soundtrack work or video game track work or even live performance, you could just bring the Phantom and you'd pretty much have everything you need on one road case. So it kind of goes back and forth all the time. We think probably the value leader is the Hydrosynth in that it's got a lot of cool capability. In terms of sound design, it's amazing, but then the Moog is also amazing in what it can do on sound design. So it's kind of like you go old school sound design or more modern sound design. Depends on which day you wake up, which one you want to do. But again, if you like what we're doing, check out our Patreon. We do have our CD, The Flower That Blooms at Midnight in a Tomb. For anybody who joins our Patreon, it gives us more than $20. We'll get a free copy of our Amazon CD for The Flower That Blooms at Midnight in a Tomb, which is an album that we recorded primarily on the OPZ. We have a whole episode on Anchor if you want to check out what we talk about it and get a preview of what's on there. If you want to just become a supporter of the program, you can become a supporter through Anchor FM. If you're a band and you want to get interviewed, check out the voice memo system. If you'd like to be a co-host on the program when we interview artists and get into that and talk about equipment, send us a voice memo or contact us directly on our Instagram, which is expansive_sound_experiments. That's again our Instagram direct message is expansive_sound_experiments. And we hope to talk to you in the future.
Lost, too deep for words, too deep for words. Not all you heard, lost, expensive sound. It's how you get out when you wanna go down. Strange modulation, strange modulation. Such a sensation. When you wanna go down, or when you're bound on the dark end of that town. You know Josie wants to go down. Every dark corner of this town now. Strange modulation. A vibrating sensation. You know you wanna go down with me on every dark corner of this town. You know you wanna feel that expansive sound. You wanna really get unbound. Strange modulation. That's an addictive sensation. You know Joe's always gonna be around. You're always gonna go down. Every dark corner in this town. I'm gonna be unbound. Get into that sound. I'm gonna go down. Unzipped, unbound. In every corner of this town. Don't you wanna fresh flesh get my ethereal gown? Right now. Don't you wanna be bound? I touch my ethereal gown right now. Strange modulation. Psycho sensation. A strange modulation. When we gotta go down. Every dark corner of this town. Know you want it right now. Know it right now. Unzipped, unbound. Joey's gonna go down. Unzipped, unbound. Joey's gonna go down. Every dark corner in this town. Unzipped, unbound. Joey's gonna go down. Every dark corner of this town. Right now. Strange modulation. You could say it's overt sexual frustration. Strange modulation. I'm gonna get that strange sensation right between my legs. And you won't have the bag. Joey's gonna go down. Every dark corner of this town. Unzipped, unbound. Unzipped, unbound. In every dark corner of this town. Unzipped, unbound. The sound of this sound. The resonance is all uptown. The sound resounds, resonance is all uptown. Even though you wanna go down. Unzipped, unbound. Unzipped, unbound. He's always gonna go down. Every dark corner of this town. Corner of this town.
I'm your sticky hot, dirty man, dirty man. I'm your untoward fuck, I'm your untoward wretch, untoward wretch. I'm your sticky hot, dirty man, dirty man. I'm your untoward fuck. But I'm the best. Take this whip and I'll get you to go fast. Step in there, what do you next? I'm your sticky hot, dirty mess. Step in there, what do you best? Become the Josephine, your dog you play. You play, bitch. I'm your sticky hot, dirty, wretch. Step in and what do you bet? I'm your untoward fuck, I'm your untoward wretch. Step in and what do you best? I'm your untoward, I'm your untoward wretch, Fuck mother, I do you like a wreck, Fuck mother, I do you best, Daphne wants to see you undressed. Daphne wants to see you red. I'm your sticky, hot, dirty mess. Dawn gonna take you to your bread. Dawn gonna take you to your dead. Dawn gonna make you wreck. I'm your sticky, hot, dirty mess. Wendover's gonna get you wrecked. Wendover's gonna make you a mess. I'm your sticky, hot, dirty wretch. You're a dog, so wild, go play fetch. Of your soul will take one tat,